please close your eyes or soften your gaze. Send your shoulder blades down your back. Send back of the head back, sides of the throat back. Please begin to become aware of the breath. Noticing how you're breathing. Is it shallow or deep? Notice where you're feeling the breath. Maybe it's in your chest or your belly. And as you begin to connect with yourself, please begin to deepen and slow the breath down. Seeing if you can feel for breathing down into the pelvis, inflating the low belly, low back, sides of the lungs, just breathing three-dimensionally here. Breathe in a way that feels settling and sweet to you. We'll be here for a few more breaths. Take one more slow, deep inhale. Maybe you exhale through an open mouth or maybe through the nose. As you've completed that, you can blink open the eyes and you can drop the hands outside the hips to tent up or onto the thighs. And please drop your right ear to your right shoulder. From here, we'll just take a few simple neck rolls. So please, on your inhale, roll your neck from shoulder to shoulder. And as you exhale, drop the head back. Just feeling out your own range of motion here. Every inhale will take you around the front. And as you exhale, extending back. Feel for how you can make your sit bones so heavy here, grounding down into the earth, really feeling this sense of rooting so that the mobility is truly in the neck, but you're sitting in a way that feels grounded. The next time your ear comes to your left shoulder, please reverse the direction of your rolls. Again, moving through the inhale, shoulder to shoulder. And as you exhale, dropping the head back. Maybe you find a place that feels crunchy or tight. Feel free to stay there for a moment. If you'd like to just breathe into that spot. Keep pushing down into the floor. Even getting a little bit taller here. Feeling for that internal sensation of being taller. Maybe it's not visible to anyone else, but you have that sense of connection, of grounding. The next time your head comes through center, you can bring your palm to your forehead and help your head back up. From here, please lift your left arm up, right arm up to the sky. Bend that right elbow and reach around with your left arm for that elbow. Pull the right elbow in towards the midline as you inhale, and as you exhale, send the head back into the little pillow made by the elbow. Every inhale, see if you can snuggle that elbow in towards the center, ground down, and exhale, send that elbow back behind you, sending back of the head back. If your belly and ribs are popping forward here, pull them back to integrate the torso. Feeling for a stretch in that right shoulder, right outer arm. We'll take 2 more breaths here. Again, find that sense of settling through the sit bones and find yourself settling back into yourself. As you've completed that, you can release. And this time we'll lift that left arm up, bend at the elbow, Reach that right arm around and grab onto the elbow here. Every inhale, bringing that elbow a little bit more towards center. And as you exhale, sending the elbow, back of the head, sides of the throat back. If you're someone with really mobile shoulders, like if your arm just goes way over like mine does, you might get more out of this by sending the elbow into the hand instead. You'll still get a stretch, just feel out how that feels for you. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Feeling for settling, rooting down as you extend up and back. And as you've completed that, you can unwind. Please switch the cross of your legs if you're in a cross-legged seat. From here, please take your right hand out, tent up on fingertips, outside that right hip. Lift your left arm up to the sky. Get taller on the inhale, extending along the left side of the body. As you exhale, you can flatten that right palm and bend over to your right, coming into a side bend. Keep that opposite sit bone, left sit bone, grounding down as you find out how far you can extend. Send back of the head back, lean back into yourself a little bit. We'll take 2 more breaths here, finding that dual sense of rooting and extending out into the world. As you're ready, come back up, reach up with both arms, drop that left hand over to the left, right out from that left hip. Reach up through the right fingertips and then bend over to your left, flattening that left palm to the ground. Ground down through that right sit bone. It will try to get light and really reach over to the left side of the mat as you send back of the head, sides of the throat back, even finding a little bit of a neck stretch here. How rooted can you be as you extend over to the side? Please take 1 more breath here. And as you're ready, come back up. Awesome. From here, please crawl forward onto hands and knees. Bring your knees, thighs, and inner edges of the feet together. And then begin to walk back so that you're sitting on your heels. Check out your pinky toe. It's probably hiding under your 4th toe. Pull it out so that all 10 toes are on the ground. Sit back into yourself here. If this is immediately excruciating, know that you can shift a little weight forward. But as you feel settled, how can you shift yourself back here? Send back of the head back, send shoulder blades down the back, maybe even a slight lift in the chin. As you really allow yourself to settle into what might be a strong sensation in your feet. It is for me. Maybe you're luckier than I am. We'll take 2 more breaths here. Really commit to reaching back as much as you can. And as you're ready, we'll come forward to hands and knees. You can tap out your feet. And as you're ready, bring the knees and the inner edges of the feet back together. And this time we'll settle back onto our heels. Sweep your hands up and you can interlace your hands behind your head. And then uninterlace and interlace them the weird way that's not your habit. From here, please settle back onto your heels, pull the ribs and the belly back, send elbows back, sides of the throat back, back of the head back into the hands, settling back into yourself right here. Notice if you're starting to sag. Really using the hook of the hands on the back of the head to even traction the head up and back a little bit, making more space in your neck. We'll take one more breath here. And as you're ready, come out and return to hands and knees. We're setting up in tabletop for cat-cow. So wrists are under shoulder, knees are under hips, toes can be tucked or untucked. Maybe do the opposite of your habit. From here, on your inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, tilt the tailbone up. And as you exhale, scoop the tailbone under, gaze towards your navel for cat. Every inhale will bring you into the back bend, really extending. And as you exhale, really scoop into yourself. If you'd like to make this movement a little more serpentine, maybe moving the hips side to side or front to back, making circles. Just keep everything grounded as you move. Finding more stability in the foundation will allow you to really open up through the parts of the body that are moving. We'll be here for a few more breaths, just using this time to open up the spine. And as you're ready, return to neutral. And then please step your right foot back behind you. Please tuck the toes of both feet. And as you're ready, please drop that right hip to the ground. It's probably trying to lift. Just make sure that your pelvis is level. On your next exhale, you can lunge back into those back right toes, just lengthening out that back calf. As you inhale, your wrist will come back over your shoulders as you shift forward. As you exhale, lunge back into those back toes, finding a stretch in your back calf. My calf muscle currently feels like a chunk, like a ridiculous chunk, so this feels amazing. I hope it feels good for you too. We'll do 2 more. Okay, as you've completed your last 2, please pick up that right foot off the ground. Drop that right hip again so the toes should point straight down towards the floor. As you inhale, curl that knee, right knee, in towards your nose. Lift it a little higher and then exhale it back. We'll do this 4 more times. Every inhale will take knee towards nose and really pick it up a little bit more than you think you can. Exhale it back. Go as slow as it's reasonable for you to go. Slowing down the abs will always make them so much juicier. It will also mean you have to do less reps. Okay, this is my final one. Come back to all fours. As you're ready, please extend that left leg long behind you. Drop that left hip so pelvis is level. As you're ready, you'll exhale, lunge back into that left ball of the foot, and then inhale back forward, wrist under shoulders. Exhale, you'll lunge back into the ball of that foot, stretching the calf, and as you inhale, come forward. Please do 3 more with your own breath. Even here, finding belly and ribs pulling back, back of the head extending up towards the ceiling. So the tendency might be to just collapse through the upper body, but even here, paying attention to that sense of integration, that sense of resting back. Okay, that was my last one. As you're ready, please pick up that left foot, drop the left hip so pelvis is level, toes should point straight down, and as you inhale, pull that knee in towards your chest, lift it a little higher, and exhale, send it back. Inhale, curl in, lift up, 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 exhale, back. Do 3 more with your own breath. Slowing it down, really pumping that knee as if it could touch your nose. Maybe yours can. Just seeing how tight you can get curled into this little ball. Okay. Awesome. As you've completed that, come back to all fours. Walk your hands one handprint forward. Walk your knees one knee print back. Tuck the toes. Spread the fingers wide and press the hips to the sky for downward facing dog. First down dog of the day. Maybe you pedal out your feet. Maybe you find stillness. Maybe you notice how your calves are feeling after those calf stretches. Maybe they feel not as bad as you anticipated. Just notice what's true for you. We'll take 3 more breaths in our down dog to do whatever you need to do. Maybe you bend the knees to lift the hips towards the sky. Maybe you pump the heart towards the thighs. Finding the sense of grounding here for our last breath. On your next inhale, please shift forward to plank. Knees can be up or down. We'll hold in plank for just a few breaths. Notice what your belly and ribs are doing. Pull them back and up. Send back of the head back towards the ceiling. Take 1 more breath in. As you exhale, shift forward and down. Untuck the toes. And you'll place the palms outside the ribs for cobra. As you're ready, pull yourself up and through, pressing down into the feet and the hands. Send tailbone long behind you, coming into cobra or baby cobra. Pull belly and ribs back, peel back of the head back. Feeling the sense of what it might be like to be a snake. So coiling back of the head back, like a gorgeous cobra. All right, take 1 more breath here. And as you exhale, shift forward and down. And please return to downward facing dog. Okay. From down dog, lift your right leg up to the sky, toes point straight down. Bend that right knee, land right knee outside right wrist, setting up for pigeon pose. Look over your left shoulder and make sure that that leg is in one straight line. Maybe walk that left leg back. Come up on fingertips here and then begin to walk your fingertips back towards your body. You can bring your left hand to your foot, right hand to your calf or thigh. If you have blocks, you could bring them there. Trying to find this more upright pigeon. You could stay right here in this more back-bendy form of the pose. Or if you'd like more, you can bring your hands to your hips. Pull belly and ribs back. As you inhale, push the hips down. Exhale, curl back of the head back. Every inhale, you'll push the hips down, finding this traction to allow you to exhale, curl the head back. We'll try this a few more times. I find it so juicy to feel that downward energy, allowing you to curl back a little bit more deeply. Take 1 more breath and exhale. Come back, unwind that leg, extract it, and return to downward facing dog. All right. As you are ready, please pick up your left leg, bend the left knee, land that left knee outside the left wrist, and truly make sure that it's opening to the side of your mat, otherwise you're going to end up compressed. From here, please look over your right shoulder, walk that right leg in line with the midline, then walk those toes back. I recommend toes tucked. From here, you can begin to walk yourself back. Torso will square towards the short edge of your mat. And begin to walk the hands onto that foot and thigh. Or maybe you bring hands to hips. If you've got hands to hips, on the inhale, you'll push the hips down. Exhale, curl the head back. Inhale to push the hips down. As you exhale, curl the head back, opening the chest, coming into the back bend. We'll try that a few more times. Really feeling for how you can find the stability to open up here. And as you're ready, you can walk the hands forward, extract that leg, and return to down dog. From here, you can stay in down dog, you can move into child's pose, knees will come wide, toes together, or you can shift forward and take a vinyasa. You do whatever will bring you that sense of resting back. Okay, friends. If you'd like to stay with the flow of class, please meet me in down dog. From down dog, we're going to move into a low lunge series. So if you have a blanket or a towel, you can whoosh it across the middle of your mat now. Please lift your right leg up to the sky, step that right leg through, left knee will come to the blanket. You want your right ankle directly under your right knee. Walk that left knee back, just half a knee print, tuck the toes. From here, we'll come up onto our right thigh. From here, we'll come into a quad stretch. So pull that right hip back, left hip forward to square the hips, and then begin to bend that left knee. It should be slightly behind you so you're not directly on the kneecap. You can reach around with left hand for the outer edge of that left foot. Pull that left foot in towards your hip. Maybe you lift that right arm to the sky. Maybe you're happy with it right there on your thigh. Keep lunging into that right knee, making sure you have knee over ankle. We'll be here for a few more breaths. You're pulling that left foot to the outer left hip. Even here, if your head tends to move forward, send back of the head back. Finding that sense of resting back into yourself. Please take one more breath. As you exhale, gently release, and then we'll return to our low lunge. So left toes are tucked. From here, you can bring that left arm to the sky and reach it so that the back of the palm hits the back of the head. You can stay right here, keeping that right hand on the thigh, or you can begin to peel that left elbow back so that you come into a back bend. And really using the support of those left toes on the ground, continuing to pull that right hip back as you peel yourself into the back bend. We'll be here for one more breath. As you're ready, come back up. Frame that front foot, and then we're going to walk that right foot out and then come onto the right heel for a hamstring stretch. So you may want to walk those fingertips back. You may want to stay up on fingertips the whole time. Pull the right hip back, left hip forward to square the hips. Your straight right leg might look like mine. I can see myself on Zoom. Might be more bent. You want to flex those right toes back towards your face. You don't want any pulling behind that right knee. If you have that pulling, please bend your knee more. Continue pulling right hip back. It will try to drift forward. You can fold over that leg, or if your leg is pretty tight, you might just want to stay upright. If you're more upright, even here, you can send back of the head back. Finding the space to feel open and upright in this stretch. Ardha Hanumanasana. Let's take one more breath here. As you're ready, release that right foot back to the floor. Bring your right hand inside that right leg and then wiggle right foot over to the outer edge of your mat. Okay, from here we're moving into lizard pose. So you can make sure that that right knee is directly over the right ankle. If it's going wide, hug it in towards the midline. You can stay right here, or you can begin to extend torso out, coming down to forearms, coming down onto a blanket, maybe just coming into a fold. Keep hugging right knee towards the midline. We'll be here for a few more breaths. Really finding the sense of hips settling towards the floor. Finding a big stretch, and I've got one in right inner thigh, left groin, hip flexors. Let's see if we can settle into ourselves for one more breath. As you're ready, you can walk your hands back up. And from here, we'll return to downward facing dog. Notice if you've got a new right leg. Mine feels much more open, which I'm super happy about. So just check out what's happening left to right. Noticing any space you may have made within your body. And as you're ready, we'll do the second side. Please lift your left leg to the sky, step it through the hands, setting up first for that quad stretch. So make sure that you've got left ankle under left knee, and then walk that right knee back half a knee print. Tuck the back toes, and we'll come up onto that left thigh. You can bend that right knee. If it's ouchy, just walk it back a little bit more. So bend the right knee, reach around for traditionally inner edge of the foot. If that feels like too much, you can grab outer edge. Pull that right hip or right heel in towards right hip. Maybe stay right here. Maybe you want to flourish and lift that left hand to the sky. Pull low ribs and belly back. Send back of head back. See if that changes your stretch. Keep bending into that front knee. Don't let it unbend. And we'll be here for a few more breaths. Keep sitting back into yourself. Find a sense of resting. On your next inhale, you can release that foot. Come back onto that front thigh. Maybe you bring your right palm behind the right head. Send the head back into the palm, opening up that elbow behind you. Pull low ribs and belly back as you lunge into that left knee, sending left hip back to square the hips, finding a little bit of a back bend. You might notice that your glutes are working. That's awesome. You can hug inner thighs together here. We'll be here for 2 more breaths. How can you rest back a little bit deeper? On your next inhale, unwind, frame that front foot, and then walk that left foot forward. Come onto the heel. Maybe you walk your hands back. Pull that left hip back to square the hips. Flex the left toes back towards your face. From here, continue pulling left hip back, right hip forward so hips don't drift. Continue flexing those left toes back towards your face. Press down into the fingertips, make torso longer. Finding a stretch in the left hamstring, left back of the thigh, just never behind the knee. There's nothing you need to stretch there. How slow, steady, and deep can your breath be? Let's take one more slow, deep breath. And as you're ready, on your next inhale, flatten that left foot to the ground. Bring left hand inside that foot. Walk it out so that it's probably going to end up at a 45 degree. It could end up toes straight forward. I don't have the flexibility for that, but you might. Walk that right knee back and then hug that left knee in towards the midline. From here, begin to lengthen the torso out of the pelvis, and you can walk forward. Maybe you stay upright on this side. Maybe this is not your side to go down onto forearms. So figure out where you want to land so that you can have that sense of resting back even as you hug in towards the midline. We'll be here for a few more breaths. It's feeling really good to me to send back of the head back. I think so many of us get carried forward by life. Computers, screens, can feel really therapeutic and glorious to have that sense of resting back. I hope that you're feeling that too. Let's take one more breath, and whatever kind of lizard you've got, as you're ready, you can come back to center, plant the palms, and return to down dog. Okay, great. From here, we'll walk the hands and the feet towards each other. Meet yourself in the middle, as Anisha says, and we'll end up in a forward fold. So plant the palms down onto earth or floor. You may have to bend the knees to do that. Tip your weight forward and let your head and your neck go. Maybe you shake the head no. Maybe you just feel yourself spilling, cascading down here. On your next inhale, bring hands to shins, flatten your spine, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, brings you all the way up. And exhale, fold back down. Release the head and the neck. On your inhale, lift through the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, brings you all the way back up. And then do one more round with your own breath. Okay. All right. The next time you're up, you can land the palms at heart center. Close your eyes, send shoulder blades down the back. Ground down into the feet. Send back of the head, sides of the throat back. Even bottom tips of shoulder blades will come slightly together. Just take a moment to check yourself out as you root. All right. From here, you can blink open your eyes. We'll take a few rounds of breath of joy. So it's 3 short, sharp inhales and then an exhale through an open mouth. So it looks like this. All right, ready? Here we go. Two more. Bring your hands back to heart center. Just feeling the effects of that breath. And as you're ready, you can blink open your eyes and we'll come into tree pose. So if you have a wall, feel free to use a wall. If you're good to go, whatever you want to do here. So please shift your weight into your right foot, pick up your left. Come to kickstand, calf or thigh, not the knee. Drop that left hip, bring palms together. Find a place that you can stare at that's not moving. And maybe find a place not just right in front of you, but a couple feet out so that you have that sense of sending the head back. You can keep your hands pressed together. You can grow your branches. You do whatever you need to do to feel settled here. If you'd like to take a back bend, you'll pull ribs and belly back, point the thumbs behind you and lean back, finding your edge. If you're taking the back bend, you'll send the tailbone down, the knee, the left knee will move back, really grounding through that right sole of the foot. Please take 2 more breaths wherever you are. And as you're ready, come back up through center, unwind, shake it out if you want, and we'll switch sides. So ground down into your left foot, pick up your right, bring the foot to wherever it wants to land. This side might be different. Drop that right hip to square the pelvis. Palms can come together. That can be really nice for activating the midline. Find that steady place to gaze on out in front of you. Send back of the head back, bottom tips of shoulder blades together. Maybe grow your branches. Maybe as thumbs point behind you, you ground down into the left foot. Send tailbone down. Send that right hip down. Begin to lean back. Maybe not. Keep breathing down into the pelvis. Wherever you are, pull low ribs and low belly back. Pulling belly towards spine to keep balanced here. We'll take 2 more breaths. As you're ready, come back up. Unwind. Shake if you like. All right, as you're ready, please meet me in a wide-legged stance. And then please turn your right toes out towards the short edge of your mat. We're headed to Warrior 2. So that right heel will intersect the back arch, and then walk that foot out till you have a right angle, left knee, right knee over ankle. From here you can windmill your arms out, turn your torso to face me, and from here lift your arms a little higher than your shoulders. Send back of the head back, low ribs, low belly back, lean back into yourself. Send more weight into the inner edge of that back foot, left foot, and find weight evenly through the entire surface of that right foot. We'll be here a few more breaths. If there's a variation you prefer, please feel free to take it. On your next inhale, straighten that right leg, tip forward, I am a little teapot style, and come down, 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 down to floor or shin or ankle. From here, send that top arm, the left arm, so that it stacks over the bottom right arm. Send back of the head back, torso back, low ribs back. Maybe bend the top arm and place the palm behind the head so you have something for back of the head to open up into. Keep sending yourself back in space. If you Got the elbow variation, really sending that left elbow back, 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 back. Maybe you can take that arm behind the foot so you can come into a little bit of a back bend. All right, one more breath here. As you're ready, you can unwind. We'll come back up through center and we'll just switch into the second side. So left toes will point towards the short edge of the mat. Left heel intersects back arch. Bend into that front knee. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle till you have that right angle. Turn your torso back towards me. Windmill the arms out. Lift the hands a little higher than the shoulders so you have that sense of expansion across the chest. Lean back of the head back. Send bottom tips of shoulder blades together. Sink down in the pelvis. You may have to walk that foot a little bit forward. Find out what you need to do here to really rest back into yourself. Arms might start to get tired as we lift them a little bit higher. How can you send shoulder blades down the back? Back of the head back, sides of the throat back. Finding the sense of buoyancy. Keep pulling belly towards spine, engaging the abdomen, even here. We'll take 2 more breaths. Make them as buoyant as you can. And as you're ready, begin to straighten that front leg. Tip those left fingertips forward and down, coming inside the foot to shin or ankle, or if you're ready, you can go outside the foot if you have that flexibility. Please extend arm over arm, shoulder over shoulder. Send back of the head back, even here. Maybe bend that top arm, the right arm. Send back of the head, back of the palm to back of the head. And then open that elbow back behind you. Coming into this side bend variation. Keep that back foot grounded. How can you use the stability in your feet to really rest back into yourself? We'll be here for a few more breaths. Keep rotating heart towards sky. So good. As you're ready, unwind. We'll come back up. Let's widen the feet and just come into a wide-legged forward fold. So make sure toes point forward or slightly in. You can walk your hands down. Lean the weight forward, elbows will bend back towards your body. Maybe shake your head no. Just settling into yourself here. On your next inhale, you can bring hands to hips, slowly bend the knees, help yourself back up, and heel toe, or just step the feet together. From here, we'll come to sit. So please take a seat on your mat, coming into Baddha Konasana. All right, so for Baddha Konasana, we'll first start with a thigh stretch. So please take your right hand behind you so that you're leaning back. Take your left hand to your left thigh, not the knee, go for mid-thigh. Lean back into that right hand and then push, gently traction that left thigh away from you, like you could make your thigh bone longer. I feel like I actually can when you do this. So you're not shoving down, you're gliding. Great. So send that left shoulder back. You can send the head back over the back shoulder. We'll take one more breath. As you're ready, come back through center, switch sides. So the left fingertips will come behind you, right palm will come to right thigh, glide away. Lean back into yourself here. You can even send that left ear towards the left shoulder behind you. Sending left shoulder blade down the back. Maybe even finding a little neck stretch. Take one more breath here. As you're ready, you can slowly sit up and we'll take a twist. So please take the right fingertips behind you, lift left arm to the sky. Really press down into those fingertips so you get so tall, and then twist over to your right, bringing that right palm. Nope. Twist over to, yep. Oh man, you guys know which way to go. So, twist. I just got totally confused, I'm sorry. Okay. And then we'll switch sides, so whatever side you're on, do the opposite thing, please. And twist. All right. As you've had enough of that, come back up through center. Take your palms under your thighs and just help your knees together. From here, please swoosh forward and we'll return one more time to downward facing dog. Okay, please pick your right foot up and then land that right knee outside right wrist for final pigeon pose. Look over that left shoulder, walk the left knee back, tuck the toes, and come into this more upright form. You might stay right here, or you might begin to float the hands. You might bend the back knee, grabbing onto that back foot for a quad stretch, lifting that right arm to the sky. If you know mermaid, you can totally go for it. Or you might be ready to rest back into yourself by finding the back bend and then just folding forward. So you decide what will be appropriate for you. So wherever you are, find that sense of settling back into yourself. Notice what that feels like in your body. As you're ready, walk out of whatever you're in. And from here, we'll switch sides. So returning through downward facing dog. Maybe pedal out the feet. See what's happening left to right. And as you're ready, pick up your left leg. Bend that left knee, send it outside of left wrist for pigeon side 2. Look over that right shoulder, walk that right leg back in line with the midline. Maybe you begin to walk up here. Maybe you hug the thighs together, begin to float the palms. Maybe you reach back for that right foot, pulling it in towards your right thigh. Maybe you mermaid, option to lift the left arm. Or maybe you get to the back bend and then you think you'll rest better by folding forward. So you do you. Maybe you take a different variation on this side. Decide what you need to do to rest. As you're ready, please unwind whatever you've gotten into. We'll return to down dog one more time. And then from here, we'll walk hands and feet towards each other, forward fold, sweep all the way up on your inhale, and exhale, fold down, take a seat, and come onto your backs. Okay, we're almost at Shavasana. Option for a twist or for anything that you want to do to finish. If you'd like to take the twist, bring your arms into cactus, send soles of the feet to the outer edge of the mat, and then knock the knees over to the right. Option to pick up that right ankle and hook it over that left thigh. Again, feeling for that sense of gliding that thigh bone long. Settle shoulder blades down into the mat. Back of the head down into the mat. Find that sense of settling. Even as you find that sense of torsion in the belly. Please take one more breath. As you're ready, unhook if you've got that hook. Come back through center. Send the knees over to the left. Option to pick up that left ankle, hook it over the right thigh, sending that thigh bone long. Or just keep that foot on the floor. Settle shoulder blades, back of the head, backs of the arms, down into the mat. Find that as you settle, you have more space to extend that right knee away from you. How slow, deep, and sweet can your breath be? Take one more round of inhale and exhale. As you're ready, bring knees back up through center. Sweep the feet long. Take up some space here. Arms can extend long, palms face up. You can place your hands on your body somewhere. Might feel nice to take a blanket or a pillow over your pelvis or beneath your knees. Taking any adjustments that you need for Shavasana. As you settle down into the ground, feel yourself being held. Starting with your feet, feel your heels grounding down into the earth. Feeling backs of the calves grounding down. Thighs, pelvis held down into the earth. Feel your mid-back, upper back, shoulders might have to give them a wiggle, grounding down into the mat. Feel your palms on the earth if they're there. Upper arms, lower arms, grounding down into the mat. Gently press back of the head down into the mat. Finding what you can release here, how you can truly settle. Shavasana, final rest. As you rest back into yourself, please take these last few moments to appreciate your practice and your effort. Maybe take a moment to check in with yourself, to ask yourself if there's anything that you need today, any quality or intention or even an action that would help you to settle and ground. Make space in your heart to truly give yourself whatever it is that you need today. And as you're ready, you can extend your right arm long behind you, back of the palm will hit the floor. And as you're ready, you can roll onto the right side, bending that right elbow, making a little pillow for the right side of your head. Just take a moment tucked into a fetal position on your side to thank yourself for being here. As you feel ready, you can press into your palm, help yourself up to a comfortable seat, eyes closed or gaze soft. And we'll take a moment together to just thank the studio and each other for allowing us to be together.